First off, give Toledo a lot of credit, man. I think that's the best I've seen them play all year. I've watched Digner every game, and they made a lot of shots. They wanted it more than us. Coach Kowalczyk does a great job. Got a lot of respect for his program. We're kind of using them as the blueprint, man. They've won 3 MAC championships in a row for a reason. They looked like it. They looked like the more motivated team tonight. I think for our group, we got good guys in our locker room, but the key, and that's what I told the guys afterwards, the key to life is how are you going to respond to adversity, right? Like, that's the whole deal. I mean, like, listen, when good things are happening for us, like we got up easy against Central Michigan, control the whole time. Eastern Michigan, the whole time. Ball State, the whole time. Bowling Green, we hit a little adversity early, but then we responded. Tonight, we didn't respond. Tried to call timeout early, tried to sub in all 5 guys, new guys, to try to ignite us a little bit. We just didn't have it, and it falls on me. I got to get our guys to have the right mindset. As a coach, you're always kind of fearful because been playing for our seniors, been talking about that, making it to Cleveland. We clinched that on Saturday at Eastern Michigan. So then it's kind of like, what's next, right? And you're constantly thinking about it. We talked about the streak that Toledo's had against us. I don't think we've beaten them, I guess, it's almost like 12, 13 years, which is unbelievable. And then also, having a chance to get 10 league wins for the first time in over a decade as well. So we still got a lot to play for. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. I know Ohio U won't, coming in here on Friday night. We got a really good Ohio U team coming in, so we got to have a great next couple days.
Did they do anything different defensively from the first game to take primarily Darwishi out, but also Mirambo struggled for most of the game?
No, to be honest. I mean, they didn't do anything different. We did exactly what we prepared for. But, again, here's the – but, again, this again, you got to be tough, right? So, like, Andy misses an early one at the rim, right? Darwishi misses a wide-open 3 early. We missed, I forget who missed the other 3 early. We missed, Eian was right at the rim, should have landed on 2 feet. He had a layup. And it's like, listen, but again, the good teams, the really good teams, respond. Things happen, man. Basketball's an imperfect game. Just like life. It's imperfect, man. You're going to make mistakes. It's like, what's going to be your response? We didn't have that response tonight. Nor did I. I shouldn't have got a technical. I don't know how I got a technical foul. Still don't really know. They never answered me on that. But I can't get a technical foul either. So we got to have above-the-line behavior across the board. It starts with me and then with the rest of the team.
Quite often you've got depth that you can bring on, and, that's helpful and everything.
Yep.
Toledo plays with those same 5 guys like about 85% of the game, and yet they seem to be able to do it. I mean, that's pretty remarkable to be able to do that and still put on the kind of defensive pressure that they do, isn't it?
Yeah, they played really well. Their defense, again, if you look at their analytics, they're one of the worst defensive teams in our league. They played good defense tonight. I know that. He had his guys ready. They played hard. They were disruptive. I thought, offensively, they're a monster. They're the number 1 offensive team in our league. They shot it really well. I mean, Tyler Cochran, some of the shots he hit, man, like, wow. Great player, man. Just players making plays. That's what you do in March, man. He made a bunch of plays. Maddox did. Lawrence made some tough ones. A lot of them did. And give them credit, man. They were hungry. They have a lot to play for. But so do we. And I got to see that passion, right? Like, I know it's like I told our guys, listen, we're at the end of the marathon. It's a long season. This started back in June for us when our guys got here. And it's like, man, that last mile to 2 miles, guys lose focus. They kind of want to stop and get that little water break, while some teams just sprint right through that finish. They're sprinting through the finish, Toledo, as you can tell with the way they played tonight.
Coach, I asked the same thing to Eian, but when Toledo went on those stretches where it just seemed like they were hitting everything, what did that do to the team, do you think, psychologically?
You got to be tougher. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's like, listen, it happens. Basketball. Guys are going to make hard shots. But it's all about shot quality, right? It's like, what quality of shots are we getting versus what quality of shot are they getting? A lot of those, some of them were contested. They had some easy ones too, and we were fouling too much. When we put them at the line, I think they had 18 free throws maybe in the first half. Well, how many did they end up at? 16. 17 free throws in the first half. So they got a lot of easy ones too. So it's like, man, they're going to make some tough ones. Like, Cochran's a really good player. He's an all-conference player. He's going to make some. You live with it. It's how you respond, like I said, to moments like that. Because anybody can play hard and execute when things are going good. Anybody can. And I know that's sometimes hard for people to understand that haven't played sports, but guys can get real dizzy out there and start seeing different things, like when all of a sudden, man, they get punched in the mouth. And we got punched in the mouth tonight, and we didn't respond the right way.
Coach, looking forward to your in the future into your second MAC tournament. Are the feelings or expectations different this year? Is it more the same?
Yeah, man, like I felt like last year, I'll be honest, like we qualified for the MAC tournament in the last game. I thought our guys were content. I mean, it was bizarre. I was like, man, I didn't take this job to make the freaking MAC tournament. And it's like I was yelling and screaming and trying to drive our guys because I felt our team just didn't have it last year. It was an odd feeling. Like, this is go time. This is what you play for, right? This is the reward for all the work that you put in. And we got a young group right now. We got a lot of new guys. And so trying to get them to understand that you got to embrace every opportunity. You got to treat it like it's your last. I know this, our 3 seniors only got 1 regular season game left, and then they got a MAC tournament game guaranteed, and that's it. Anderson Marambo and Bryce Boltman and Darwishi, they're done. And a guy like Evan Absar, some people say, well, freshman, he can kind of look at it and say, hey, he's got more. He's got a lot of time. Well, shoot, we're doing that for those 3. Right? We got to be focused for those 3. Right? Send our seniors out the right way. Because the goal here is to win the championship. Like, listen, that's what the expectation needs to be. Right? Making the MAC tournament, I mean, that should be a given every single year.
You talked about some of the things.
Sorry.
Kind of going off that question, how do you feel finishing out this season, this week, and heading into the MAC tournament next week?
Yeah, I think we got to be smart, obviously, how we respond to this. Like, we're not going to practice 5 hours tomorrow. We're not allowed per NCAA rules, number one. But I'm not going to practice 3 hours, right, and just absolutely drain our guys to the point where we have no juice on Friday. We have a quick turnaround here with Ohio U. So we'll watch film of this. That'll be the first thing we do because we got to own it. And it's important to own it, right, and then learn from it and then move on, flush it. So we'll do a short edit of this game, and then we'll lift tomorrow as well, and then we'll go out on the floor. I told our guys, listen, it's up to them how long we're going to be out there. If they're focused or locked in, we have pace to practice, and their intent's right, then we'll be out there for an hour to hour and 15 minutes. It's March. But if it's not, it'll easily go to hour and 45. I'm going to get out of the practice what I want to get out of it. Then we'll do the same thing on Thursday. It'll be the same thing. We'll lift. We'll watch their actions. Again, get to know them. We already played them once, so obviously we have some familiarity with them. But it's more about us and just our mindset at this point in the year.
You talked about some of the things you want to work on from this game. What are some of the positives that you take out that you want to carry to the next game?
Man, positives. There weren't a lot of positives tonight. Oh, man. I thought our guys played hard in the second half. I did. And we didn't win one. We break the game down into 4-minute rounds, right? So there's a media timeout under 16, under 12, under 8, under 4. So there's 10 4-minute rounds throughout the game. So we try to break the game into smaller little games, right? We were 0-5 at half, right? Felt like we only scored about 2 points. Was that way for a long time. But second half we responded. We were a little bit better. We won 3 rounds, all right? So we were 3-1-1, I believe, in the second half in the rounds, which was better. Again, we got good guys. Listen, we've always responded. But the key is, can you respond in the moment and not the next game? Right? That's what the good teams and really good teams, and in order to do that, we got to have great player leadership, and we got to hold each other accountable.
Coach, you came out of half, obviously, with that very young lineup. You had 4 freshmen and a sophomore out there. What were you hoping to get out of having those guys on the floor?
Just find somebody who's got a pulse. I mean, golly. I mean, I can't want it more than them. You know what I mean? And I got to get them motivated and understand what's at stake in the mindset. So that's ultimately it's on me. But just wanted some guys who had a pulse, man. I thought Jaquel played hard. He's trying to rebound the ball. He wasn't perfect, but he's playing hard. Eian was playing hard. I thought Evan and Mackay played hard. I said Jackson. I know Jackson will play hard. Probably not going to be perfect, but he's a great teammate. He's always up on that bench, man, and it means a lot to me. And it's he's a terrific teammate. Wanted to give him an opportunity, man. I'd see what he could do. So I just wanted guys who were playing hard.
Hey, going into the MAC tournament, what are some lessons that you can take away from this game?
Yeah, I think number one, just the mindset going into it, right, is, at this point in the year, man, you're either the hunted or you're the hunter, right? Like the game, I've used this quote with our guys before, man. Victor always favors the aggressor. That's in anything in life. I don't care if you're playing basketball, baseball. I don't care if you're investing money. You got to know when to go all in. Scared money never wins. Never wins. You never win. So like, got to have that right mindset, I think, more than anything. And then I think just, again, man, playing for those 3 seniors, man. I saw the disappointment in Andy afterwards, man. Andy was having a really hard time with it. And it's like I told him, I said, man, like, well, you got to have that player leadership during the game. He was frustrated he missed that shot. I don't care about the missed shot. I never get on our guys about missing or making shots. I could care less about that. But been trying to teach these guys the whole year how to win, right? Because it's not about shot making. That people that say that don't understand basketball and they don't know what it takes to win.
The first game was pretty much decided by free throws. You had identical field goals. You had more
Yep.
3-point plays decided at the line. Then they get to the line a lot this time. What is it about Toledo that they are, at least against Miami, that
Yeah.
they are able to get to the line and take advantage of that so much? I mean, they hit everything today, but
Yeah.
the line seems to be.
Yeah, they were 17 to 17 in the first half. I don't know if I want to fully go into that. But listen, they do a good job drawing fouls. That's all I'm going to say, man. They do a good job drawing fouls, obviously. We don't.
Coach, going in, you've got 2 big games coming up here in the next couple days. Do you feel like the boys were quite not focused enough, or the term kind of trap game lend name to this competition today?
Yeah, I don't know about trap. My biggest fear going into this game was being content. Just, man, like, hey, we made it to Cleveland. Like I said, like, man, that should never be the case. That should be a given every single year. Every year. Like I said, if that's the goal, then I'm at the wrong spot and we got the wrong guys in the locker room, right? So, like, I got to be hungry. I think that's the biggest thing. They wanted it more. They have a lot to play for, Toledo. Obviously, they're trying to win a regular season championship. You could tell they're playing like that. They're playing like that. They need some help. I think they were in second place going into tonight, but we still got a lot to play for. And, and again, like I said, man, Ohio U, obviously big rival game coming up. I treat every game the same, man. Like, we prepare the same for Toledo as we do Ohio or how we do whoever's on our schedule. It's just kind of next game up. And just so those guys see that consistency so you never kind of fall into a trap game. But I don't know what it was tonight. I think content was probably the right word that I would use. Didn't have the right response to adversity.
So as the season's wrapping up, kind of what are your goals for the postseason? Is it to win the MAC tournament and go to the NCAA or NIT, or is it to kind of have good closure in that tournament? And what do you see for the future of the Redhawks as the season closes up?
Yeah, I think number one, you take it one game at a time, right? Like to win the championship, you got to win the first game. Again, we have no idea who we're going to play yet. Obviously, we still got Ohio U here, so my focus is solely really on that. But the overall goal, one of our team goals, is obviously to win the MAC championship and qualify for the NCAA tournament. It hasn't been done here since 2008. It's been way too long. And we're building the program back. Listen, where it was last year to this year, we're significantly better. But that's not enough, right? Like, you want more. You want more. That's what drives me every single day. I want to give our guys the experience and our fan base and our students the experience of playing in the NCAA tournament. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Those would be memories you have for the rest of your life.
Coach, obviously that first 5 minutes was a weird stretch with all those stoppages, but as a coach, when do you decide it's time to make adjustments to the original game plan that you guys came out with?
Right away. Tonight, I could tell right away our guys didn't have it. I knew it right away. It was the same thing in Bowling Green, right? So I think Bowling Green got out 7-0 or 7-2 on us, and then we had to call timeout. We had to make a few adjustments. We subbed everybody. I mean, subbed the whole new 5 guys in there, and it worked. Right? Tonight it didn't work. but you're always trying to figure out, trying to prod guys, whether it's pressing or whether it's, hey, we got to change our ball screen coverage, whether we got to change our post coverage as well. What we're running offensively, you try different things, right? You're trying to find something that's working, and then you stick with it a little bit. And then if they make an adjustment to that, then you got to make another adjustment. You got to move to the next thing, So they obviously their fastball worked tonight. They didn't have to make any adjustments. We didn't make the game interesting at all.
You've been on a roll lately with the team, and one comes in like this. What's the mindset to bounce back here for the final game?
We just got to focus on our next response. We know we got another big game coming up. And, tonight, they got the better of us, but we can't hold our heads over it too long.
Were there any particular things you noticed that they did, say, different than this game than the last time the two teams met?
I wouldn't say they did anything too different. I feel like we just came out flat. It was really more on us. We didn't really have the drive we usually have tonight.
Ian, just what do the next couple days look like for this team when you just try to get the intensity back up for Friday?
They look the same as really any other practice we go into. Just high energy. We got to refocus. That's the main thing we have to do.